Today, let's break down the best Clan War League attack that you can use this month and how you can earn more 3 stars with it. What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be breaking down one of the best Clan War League attacks that you can use right now that you guys have been also requesting for in the comments below, and that is none other than the hybrid. Along with that, we are looking at 4 different variations, from a normal Queen Charge hybrid, from the use of a Yeti Bomb, lightning spells with an earthquake, and of course the blizzard. This is incredibly strong, and I would highly recommend watching through the entire video to get the best tips and tricks. So something that you're going to always do with any hybrid is you want to look at where the clan castle is placed. So in this case here, you can go ahead and use a Yeti Bomb in this location to get rid of a single or multi-target inferno, and Queen Charge for the town hall since it's towards the outside. At this stage, what you're able to do is create pathing that kind of looks like this and create the funneling with the use of the king on this side, while the Yeti Bomb was able to take care of the other front. That way you can send in your hogs and miners towards the eagle artillery, which is your next major threat. So you want to be able to keep that in mind when you're using this attack. So usually though, I would highly recommend, if you're going to be using this, try to prepare yourself in terms of where the sweepers are placed. That's going to be a big indication. You also want to use a couple balloons to really soak up any seeking air mines that could really potentially harm your battle blimp. That way you can get the battle blimp straight into the base, and you're going to be able to get rid of an entire compartment if you're lucky, almost like this one here. He was able to use that Yeti Bomb right in the center of that compartment, dealing damage to everything around that, including the Inferno Tower it landed right on top of. So it's something to keep in mind. But another thing that you want to do is you want to create the funnel for your queen. That way you're able to get her in without having too much hassle. You don't really always need to use a ton of super wall breakers. You just need to bring one, and that's about it. So that way what you're able to do is you're able to deal with the enemy clan castle troops, and you're able to control where your queen goes. So here, in this case, she's moving right towards the clan castle troops, towards the town hall. Once you're kind of guaranteed this, and you know that for a fact, as you continue to make sure that you're able to get through, you can start creating the funnel on the other side by using the king. So while the queen is still going strong, he's going to be able to use the king to go down this direction, and be able to send in his hybrid into this way. That's exactly something that you may want to consider. You just want to see how many buildings are there, and if there's not too many and it's not kind of like this, then maybe instead focus in on going in the direction kind of like this into the base. Just try to plan out that either in the 30 seconds that you have in a multiplayer or in a multiplayer raid, or in planning your war attacks. So as you're able to continuously move through, you've got the use of the hogs and the miners to continue to move through the base. You've got the use of the heal spells. You want to use your first heal earlier in order to make sure that you're keeping your miners and hogs alive. Then use the Warden Eternal Tome. That way what you're able to do is keep all your miners and hogs alive as they get through partly an area where there might be a ton of heavy DPS. That way what you're able to do is use your last heal spell on the back end to keep any of the miners and hog riders alive that may go into it. So that's just something to keep in mind. But another thing is, if you are planning on using this with the heal spells, make sure you guys go ahead and use them over splash related structures. Like any eagle shots that go down, you should be using heal spell around there. Along with that, the Inferno Towers. Another variation that you can try out is the use of the Zap Quake. The Zap hybrid is still very much alive, but used in a different way. Usually what you're going to be doing with this is you're looking for the Eagle Artillery. Usually, like in this case here, you're using no heal spells, which means you're looking for big spell value. So that means that what you're doing is you're doing 3 different things. You're going to use a Zap Quake to get rid of the Eagle Artillery, so now you don't need to worry about that. You're going to use the Stone Slammer, and yes, you heard me right, the Stone Slammer instead of a Siege Barrack or Battle Blimp. And you're going to be using that to get rid of a multi-target Inferno. And your Queen is going to be charging in directly to get rid of the Town Hall, making it easier for yourself to use the hybrid. That way the hybrid kind of looks like this as you start going into the base. That's exactly what you want to really be successful with this attack, and you want to be able to do just that. So you're going to be starting off with a queen charge. Starting off by using a couple balloons to get rid of a couple air defenses, or a couple defenses on the outside if you see it, like this one here, where you can use a couple balloons to get rid of it, and it kind of cuts off this area just a tad bit, so the queen won't see these buildings, and you can focus on getting your queen to go in this direction here. Just kind of think about those things if you are planning on using this specific variation, but allowing you to move through is exactly what you want to try. So using the poison and freeze in order to get rid of that, but while your queen is kind of moving through, you've got the use of the Zap Quake. You can use an Earthquake here first, getting rid of or at least weakening up as many of the structures around there, and then you could start going ahead and using the lightning spells. Using them, kind of spacing them out between all the defenses and also the Eagle Artillery in order to make it easier for you is exactly what you want to try. And while you're kind of moving into there, you can deal with the Town Hall with the Queen. You can use a Rage spell if you need to in order to get through, and sometimes you may want to use a Freeze spell if your Queen has gotten too close to the Town Hall and the healers are in that range. So now that you're guaranteed getting rid of the Clan Castle and the Town Hall, you've got easy pathing now to start going ahead and using the King and the Baby Dragon in order to basically create the funnel on one side and get all the way through. Now notice here how you're not using any heal spells. So you're going to be using the Warden Eternal Tome to protect you through the first sort of Inferno Tower or other splash buildings. But also you may notice the use of the Stone Slammer, using it on a multi-Inferno, and you don't have to bring Hog Riders in there. You can bring 2 Yetis. So you're not really using this like a Yeti Smack or a Yeti Bomb, but you're using it in order to absolutely crush through that multi-Inferno to make it even easier. And you've got the use of the Miners in order to smash through. If you have those healers swap over to the Miners and Hogs, that can really help your attack in the long haul, since especially since you will not have access to the heal spells in this army. So just think about those things if you're planning on using this as a whole, but this is an incredibly strong variation that I would definitely recommend that you guys try out. It's a bit more on the fun side. It takes a lot of spells and a lot of different things. It was a bit more complex than a traditional hybrid, but hopefully what I'm able to do here is break it down just enough so to give you an idea of how you can do it like this person and be able to apply it to your own attacks, just by seeing exactly what he was seeing in terms of these different attack strategies. Alright guys, we're going to be doing a live attack here to show you guys how strong the Blizzard Hybrid works. So, I'm going to be going in right behind the sweeper here, so I'm going to be going into this area of the base to get rid of the Town Hall and Eagle Artillery. So let's see if this goes kind of to plan. So I'm going to drop in a balloon here, then I'm going to drop in the blimp. That might have been a little bit off. I'm going to go ahead and drop in a Rage Invisibility. We're going to pop the blimp. It's a little bit off, but that's fine. We use the Super Wall Breaker in there in order to open that compartment up for us. Use another Invisibility. That should be enough to get the Town Hall. Is it enough? There we go. There we go. Down it goes. Wow, we got huge amounts. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in for that Eagle Artillery. So let's see. I'm going to drop in my Queen here. Drop in a balloon here. Drop in my healers. And then let's see. I'm going to use a Super Wall Breaker just to get into this location. Oops, didn't mean to use a Super Wall Breaker there. But I'm going to drop in my King over here along with a minion to take on that Builder Hut. Then I'm going to drop in the Yeti. That way we're able to move through. Alright. Pop my King ability. We're going to use my Miners here. I'm going to be sending in my Warden with them. He's level 21 now, so that's really good. But it's not a huge help. But here we go. I've got a Rage spell that I can use to support the Hybrid. I'm going to use my first heal here in order to keep the Miners and Hog Riders alive. And as we continue to move all the way across the base here, let's see, I'm going to start using the Warden Eternal Tome here. Did miss a couple of them. I'm going to use a Rage spell as they get their way across this way. I'm going to pop my Queen ability. I'm going to use my heal spell right here to get them across this single target Inferno. This is looking incredibly good. Let's see, as that queen sort of starts to step up for the single, I'm going to freeze it up. And there we go. I think this is going to be a triple. Let's use the rest of our units to sort of clean up. I'm going to drop in the poison as a little bit of swag. And let's use, let's use these 2 balloons here. And that is it. That really shows you how strong. This is roughly my level in terms of the sort of leveling of my own town hall. But this is incredibly strong. As you can tell here, getting it done with literally no problem at all. And that is really easy to sort of see in exactly how strong the blizzard is. And notice how I used a super wall breaker and also some super wizards, and that allowed me to get to the town hall without having to worry about missing that compartment. If you choose not to use any of the other variations, then you could always just use it as a standard queen charge hybrid. You can always apply the other parts to the hybrid itself, but if you don't really want to do that and you could just get all the value that you want with the queen charge, you can honestly do that. All you really need to look for, though, is just going to be as much of the base down with the queen charge and creating pathing that makes sure that the hybrid goes directly in towards a particular area. Usually what I would recommend is if you're going in for the town hall with the queen charge, then go in with the hybrid towards the eagle artillery if you can. That is something that I would recommend if you're going to be doing it, but the eagle artillery should be your next major threat if you are going to be using the hybrid with the queen charge, of course. So you can see what we're doing at the first moment is creating the funnel, like you've seen throughout the entire video. But the main goal with the Yeti is, since there are a bunch of defenses on the outside, you can actually take advantage of that by using the Yeti mites and also, of course, the Yeti. The Yeti provides a bit more of a tank, and that way it allows you to easily start moving through. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that if your queen is taking a ton of damage, it might be good to go ahead and use the rage spell on the outside for her. That way you can keep her alive. And usually I would highly recommend doing that, especially if you're going into the enemy clan castle troops and even going ahead and jumping into the town hall, since the town hall is going to do a lot of damage and you want to keep that queen alive. Sometimes it might be more beneficial to use a freeze spell as well, especially if your healers are within range. But as you can see from here, you're going to be able to step up with your queen. And sometimes you may need to use a freeze, like in this case, where the town hall is in range, or the healers are within range of the town hall. So something to keep in mind if you plan on using the queen charge with the hybrid. Now normally after you're guaranteed the town hall, you're going to create the funnel on one side with the king and the siege barrack, which is going to allow you to get into the base with the hybrid, which should be your next goal, and like you've seen throughout the rest of the video. The main thing that you're doing here, like in this case, what the attacker saw, is that he saw that he can get to the eagle artillery really quickly and still deal with the enemy clan castle troops. If you're noticing a lot of super minion headhunter CCs, it might be very beneficial to go ahead and use a poison and freeze to take care of the headhunters, and of course, the super minions. But as you're moving through, you've got reinforcement hog riders, you've got the miners moving through. Sometimes you just gotta be very careful about miners and hogs splitting, kind of like this area of the base here, which is going to force your hogs and miners to go in different directions. So definitely keep that in mind. But along with that, make sure that you're using the heal spells to keep the miners and hogs alive, like you've seen throughout this entire video, to really give you a sense of an idea of exactly what you are doing to have better success with the hybrid. And just from this alone, you can see how strong it really is. So that kind of really sums up exactly what you're doing with any sort of hybrid attack. And hopefully this video will aim to get you guys into the understanding of how you can improve with the hybrid, even if you're just going to be using a normal variation like this. So make sure you guys go in and subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell for more educational Clash of Clans content that is also yet fun. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and follow me over on the social and join my Discord server. I'll be catching you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.